Joining me now to discuss Republican Congressman Thomas Massie of Kentucky. He serves on the House Oversight Committee. Congressman, it's great to have you. Thanks for coming in.
Hey, thanks for having me, Kate.
So you heard there from Pamela Brown and her great reporting. Law enforcement sources, they say that Michael Flynn changed his story during his FBI interview about calls with Russia. They don't think he was intentionally misleading, but does that trouble you?
You know, what troubles me is the culture of lying here in Washington, D.C. James Clapper famously lied to Congress under oath, and there were no repercussions. But you see here, Michael Flynn, I don't know if he was sworn in or not. I serve on the Oversight Committee, as you said, with Trey Gowdy, who's a legal scholar, and he reminded us once while we were talking to Director Comey, he reminded us that if lying were a crime, in D.C., most people would be locked up, that it's a crime to lie under oath. And so my question would be, was he under oath when he spoke to them? And
but lying
also,
to the FBI is a felony, but the FBI says they're not likely to pursue charges.
It's a felony if he were under oath and if it were indeed a lie. I think the fault that he made was to be less than forthright with the vice president. And I admire Trump for actually addressing that instead of letting it drag on, because, look, Obama didn't get rid of the Attorney General, Eric Holder, when he lied about authorizing the spying on a reporter, James Rosen. So I think this is good for the Trump administration to show that he will address these things right off the bat.
But you also agree that it seems unlikely he may have addressed it unless these reports had come out in the Washington Post?
Well, the fact that the Washington Post has access to classified information is something that we probably should investigate.
Right, but on the original point, the only thing that changed between what happened and when Donald Trump decided that it reached an unsustainable point was these reports coming out in the Washington Post. He said that he would have told Michael Flynn to make these calls. He didn't think he did anything wrong, but still, he fired him.
Well, you know, I'm troubled that they came out in the Washington Post instead of being resolved in the White House. One of two things, one of two people or places leaked this information. Either our law enforcement agencies, the FBI leaked it. This is supposed to go to a grand jury if they suspect a crime. In fact, if you wanted to prosecute Michael Flynn, they've probably spoiled the water because they collected this information illegally. I mean, they were spying on Michael Flynn without a warrant, as far as I know. Now, if the leak came from the NSA...
I don't think we actually know that. We do know that there is routine surveillance of foreign officials like the Russian ambassador. We do not know if subsequently, if there was a FISA warrant that was, we don't know these things. Do you?
We don't know these things.
Do you?
No, but we have to assume that, what we do know is it was illegal for them, somebody at the FBI or the NSA, to leak this information, and there should be an investigation there. By the way, the NSA is a branch of the military, and what separates the United States from a banana republic is the fact that our president is above the military. If you've got the military, i.e. the NSA, undermining a presidency, that's very troubling. We're starting to look like a third world country there if the military is in charge and not the president.
Do you want to see, as suggested by some of the president's allies in Congress, that the intelligence agencies should be purged if they don't like what the president says?
No, it's not if they don't like it. They have to follow the law. They can't leak this information. If they were to leak other information, this could be detrimental to our national security.
Congressman, let me ask you about the leaks. Let me ask you about the leaks, because this is where the Oversight Committee is definitely going to be focusing. Yesterday, the president said this about these leaks. Listen to this real quick.
Well, the leaks are real. You're the one that wrote about them and reported them. I mean, the leaks are real. You know what they said. You saw it. And the leaks are absolutely real. The news is fake because so much of the news is fake.
A lot of people think that this seems a bit of a contradiction. Can both of those things be true?
They can absolutely be true. I mean, there could be a leak of a transcript that's correct, and then they didn't report the transcript correctly. I haven't seen the transcript. By the way, I do disagree with a lot of people here in Washington, and maybe some supporters of Trump, who say that this is an effort of the Obama administration to undermine the Trump administration, the carryovers. I'm worried it's something deeper than that. I'm concerned that it's an effort on those who want a provocation with Russia or other countries to sort of push the president in a direction. So I don't think it's Trump versus Obama. I think it's really the deep state versus the president, the duly elected president, and that concerns me.
You think it's a concerted effort to try to provoke Russia?
Look, I think Obama was just as much a victim of this as Trump is now. Obama didn't come into office wanting to overthrow governments, but he overthrew Libya, he assisted in overthrowing Assad, and we were involved in the overthrow in the Ukraine. We're still occupying the Middle East. These were not initiatives that Obama had when he was elected, but I think he got pulled by the military-industrial complex and the intelligence community into these positions. He even helped cover up Saudi Arabia's involvement in 9/11.
Okay, that's an important point that we'll definitely want to discuss more if you have evidence that this is a concerted effort to draw the president into a conflict with Russia. I do want to have you back on, Congressman. We're out of time now. Thank you very much, Thomas Massie.
Thanks.
We'll follow up with that.